Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Lexus, and today come along with me as we go scuba diving for the first time in the Faroe Islands of the Maldives. I have always been super interested in the ocean. I used to want to be a marine biologist, so the idea of scuba diving was always something that I wanted to accomplish. So how it began, I was on a trip and decided what better time than the present to go scuba diving for the very first time. Not certified, so I was with my instructor the entire time, and she was my partner in crime and probably the only thing that made it where I survived. So I show up, we go over all of the things that we need to learn. I take my quiz, get an A+, I got a 100%, but then it was time to put it to practice. The first dive, we went to somewhere very shallow just to kind of dip our toes in and get used to the equipment and what it is like to sink. Now, I don't know if it's my built-in airbags or if I just didn't have enough weight, but I could not sink for the life of me. Also, the hyperventilating that I was doing beforehand, I think was preventing getting enough air out of my lungs in order to sink. So they added more and more lead weight to me, and eventually I got down there. I learned all of my hand motions, and she said that I was best in the class. But I did it all alone. It was a cursed journey. The practice dive to begin, one of the other divers jumped into the water, mouthpiece hit into their mouth, pull it out, red everywhere, not great, all going in the water. I'm thinking sharks. It's not the best start. The other individual in the group are doing fine. They're a little socially awkward to try to communicate with anyway, so communicating underwater was even harder, but we got through the practice dive. But now it was time to go out to the reef. We head out to the reef. It's a pretty chill journey. No crazy waves. It's a very calm day. No storms recently, so the water was very clear. She was telling me all about the things that she had seen recently whenever she had done dives in the area, the sharks she had seen, the types of fish she had seen, and I was getting mentally prepared. I had my instructor, and then the other diver had his instructor. So we go out probably like 100 yards from the boat, and tragedy strikes again, but not for me quite yet. So we are going down, just trying to get acclimated, and we have to do an emergency ascent. Thankfully, we hadn't ascended too far down, so we were able to get up pretty quickly. I'm actively trying to get myself acclimated, and when we reach the surface, I have no idea what's happened. Has someone been bitten? Someone died? I have no idea at this point. I just know that I had to go up as fast as possible. The other individual that was learning how to dive and was going for their certification had issues acclimating, took their mask off, red all over again, fall into the water where I'm diving. So panic set in as I'm recalling the sharks she had told me she had seen on her recent dives were actively chumming the water with human, and I'm supposed to continue with the dive. I turn to her and I say, look, I think this is a sign that today's just not the day. And she says, no, you're out here, might as well. The boat picks him up. The other individual that was not able to make the dive because they cut the inside of their mouth is helping the other individual onto the boat. And then it's just me and my instructor, and the boat goes what seems like 3 times the distance as before away from us. And she's like, you'll be fine. Let's just get it done. I say, okay. So I said, okay, fine, let's do this. I have my GoPro in one hand, holding on to her as she's holding on to me for dear life. We start our descent. As we're going down, I'm trying to get acclimated. I'm clearing out my mask because I'm just breathing so hard. I'm popping my mask off. Just breathing was all I could focus on because I was in such a panic. But we get through it. I start looking around, say we're only doing this once, let's just enjoy it, try to find some way through it. We go lower and lower. I start to see more of the reef, And then I turn, and it's a wall of blue with shadows moving back and forth, but I can't quite make out what it is. Thankfully, my brain just thinks we're watching TV or something. It doesn't really absorb what we're doing, so I'm just like, huh, it's Shark Week. Cool. Definitely we're sharks. And I see them start moving in and moving in. And she's just giving the, it's okay, shark. They're just gonna go past us. So I'm like, no worries. There's just blood everywhere, but who cares? As I'm swimming and I'm saying, what could possibly go wrong? Everything's already gone wrong. I get stung by plankton. So I'm wearing a suit that is short because it's very, very warm, and short sleeves, lights my arm up, just pain. I hold out my arm. It's visible underwater that I now am breaking out in hives. I'm a very allergic person. I am a bubble kid. Like, I can't deal with allergens. So my first thought, my throat's going to swell. This is not good. I'm going to die. I'm a peanut allergy individual like this. I'm done for. So as I'm pointing it out to her and she's saying, it's okay. She says, look, sea turtle. So I'm like, dope, cool. Looking at the sea turtle, she yanks me down further. I don't acclimatize myself, and I feel my ear pop. So I look at her, I look back, I look at her, and I say, up. And she's like, you're okay. Girl, up. We get to the surface, and she throws her mask off. It's like, what's wrong? And I told her, I felt my ear pop. And she's like, oh, you're gonna feel popping sometimes. It's like whenever you're on a plane or on a hill. I'm like, no. I felt it first. And she's like, got it. Okay. So we go back to the boat. So we get back. I'm trying to be calm about it. And I'm like, maybe my ears just didn't like what happened, but it's fine. It's not gonna be a big deal. I'm getting ready for dinner, putting makeup on. I turn to the side and there's a trickle of red pouring down my neck. So I said, okay. I told the attendant that was overseeing my stay what had happened. And they're like, the doctor is on the way from their island here right now. So I was like, cool. I lay down. They start poking and prodding around my ear and informed me that I have a tear in my eardrum. So that was my scuba diving experience. I don't know if I will brave that again. I think if I do, I will definitely take it much slower and do a certification and not a partner dive with an instructor, just to decide if I can get a little bit more comfortable, if maybe going out into the world was just not a good first step, and maybe I should step by step before I feel like I can go to a reef again. I did see a sea turtle. I saw, I think, a goliath fish, and it was beautiful. Sharks didn't bother me. Kind of proves the point that they really aren't all that interested in eating you. They're just interested in what you could be, but it's not at the top of my list. Something to repeat. So that's my experience scuba diving. I really appreciate you taking a watch, and please like, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.